Welcome back, horror fans. Today, we're exploring the final chapter in one of the most famous modern horror franchises, The Conjuring, Last Rites. This film closes the book on the cinematic journey of Ed and Lorraine Warren, the paranormal investigators who've terrified and entertained audiences for over a decade. But does this last installment deliver the haunting send-off fans were hoping for? Or does it leave the franchise fading into the dark? From the very first frame, Last Rites makes it clear that it wants to feel familiar. The gloomy hallways, the creaking attics, the distant whispers, this is unmistakably The Conjuring. The production design does a good job of maintaining the eerie atmosphere that has always defined the series. If you've followed these films, you'll recognize the blend of religious imagery, supernatural dread, and slow-building tension. In terms of visuals and tone, the movie fits comfortably alongside its predecessors. Where the film struggles is in its storytelling. Instead of a tight, suspenseful narrative, we get a plot that often feels stretched and unfocused. Dialogue-heavy scenes dominate much of the runtime, and the central family that should anchor the story often gets sidelined. Instead, the Warrens' personal drama takes the spotlight. On paper, giving us more of Ed and Lorraine's personal stakes should make the story more emotional. But in execution, it sometimes feels like the film is juggling too many subplots without ever building strong momentum. The pacing suffers because of this. Moments that should feel tense instead feel drawn out, and certain story threads don't quite come together in a satisfying way. Of course, the big question for any Conjuring film is, does it deliver the scares? There are a couple of standout moments here that genuinely sent chills down my spine. A shadowy figure in the background, a sudden knock in the silence, a fleeting glimpse of something unexplainable, these are the moments where the movie truly shines. But unfortunately, those moments are rare. Too often, the film leans on predictable jump scares. You see the setup coming, you know when the music will cut out, and you can almost time the scare before it happens. Compared to the terrifying originality of the first two Conjuring films, Last Rites feels a little too safe and familiar. Where the movie finds its footing again is in the emotional core. This is, after all, not just another case for the Warrens, it's their final chapter. The chemistry between Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga is still the heart of this series, and they carry the weight of the film on their shoulders. Their bond gives the story a level of sincerity that helps it rise above its flaws. By the end, there is a real sense of farewell. Even if the scares don't always land, the emotional goodbye to Ed and Lorraine does feel earned. For fans who have followed their story from the beginning, this will likely be the most rewarding aspect of the film. So, is The Conjuring, Last Rites a worthy finale? Well, it depends on what you're looking for. If you're here for non-stop terror and fresh, inventive horror, this movie might leave you disappointed. The pacing issues and reliance on predictable scares hold it back from reaching the heights of earlier entries. But if you're here to say goodbye to two of horror's most iconic characters, then you'll likely find this a touching, if imperfect, farewell. It may not reinvent the genre, but it does give fans a sense of closure. In the end, The Conjuring, Last Rites is both a reminder of what made this franchise great and a sign of why it's time to close the book. It's atmospheric, emotional, but uneven. A film that's more about the Warrens themselves than the ghosts they chase. And maybe, that's exactly how it should be. For me, The Conjuring, Last Rites earns 3 out of 5 stars. A decent farewell, but not the terrifying finale we might have hoped for. Thanks for watching this review. If you've seen The Conjuring, Last Rites, let me know your thoughts. Did it deliver the scares you wanted, or did it fall flat for you? Until next time, stay safe, and keep your lights on.